Hey everyone, what's up? On this week's episode, we are going to see which of these three great products works the best for getting rid of these nasty little rust spots on your paint, also known as industrial follow. But first, let's check out a real cool intro. So we got three products that we're going to compare. First one is TRIX. It's a Carpro product, and what this one is, powerful tar iron. So this one's a mixture. So this one does tar and iron, but I want to try it anyway just to see what happens. And then we have Iron X paste. This one is pretty thick. If you look at the consistency, there you go. You can see it's actually pretty thick. So this one is a good one to try. And then this one I've actually tried before, but I want to compare it. Riccardo Iron Maiden fallout remover. So we got almost a liter of this. So I bought it all on sale. This video is not sponsored. This one's more like water. And we're gonna try it out. Now, in terms of the stink meter, this one's probably the best. It stinks the least, I guess. It still smells. They tried to put some lemon in it or something, so it's a little better. But anyway, it's still maybe a 6. This one can actually be kept inside the house in a Ziploc bag, and you can do okay with it. This one is super stinky, and it just reeks even if you put it in a Ziploc bag. So I actually have to keep this one outside in a Ziploc bag in the shed. So I just don't keep it in the house. This one, super stinky. However, somehow this thing seems to seal, so I can keep this one inside the house too in a Ziploc bag. But it is really stinky. So let's get to it. So we're gonna use a white colored vehicle because these rust spots show up more on a lighter colored vehicle. This one you can see these rust spots are consistent throughout the whole door, and they're actually making me think that this Acura is a beater when in fact it's only a few years old. Not very old at all. So we'll compare the three products and see which ones work the best. So let's tape our door up into 3 sections. Just like so. So now what we're gonna do is we have it in 3 sections, so we can use each product in different sections, and we're gonna let them sit the same amount of time, wipe them off, hose them off, and see which one works best. So here I have it all set up, and here's the order. So Carpro TRIX, Iron Maiden, and Iron X by Carpro. We have an applicator, clean applicator for each one. We have new squirty things for the 2 squirty bottles, so nothing's contaminated. And we want to wear gloves because this stuff reeks and you barely can get it off yourself. I have the door taped up for our test. And as you can see, we're no longer in my driveway, we're near the curb. Just because let's let all this go onto the street because it's gonna stink, so I don't want it in my driveway. Now, directions say we should leave it on for a few minutes, put some on an applicator and rub on more if we need after a few minutes. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna treat them as evenly as I possible and try to put them on at about the same time if I can, just so we can see the time lapse, how fast they work, and which one seems to do a better job. This actually is kind of like a jelly. You can see it come out. Where is it there? You can see actually it's really like a jelly. Let's do our Iron Maiden. And now our TRIX. I just want to get in here a little closer. We can see where we use the TRIX. We're around the 3-minute mark, and you can see it all coming off. That looks awesome. There's the top part of the spray, not too much, but you can definitely see it changing color. You can see there's the Iron Maiden. And here is the Iron X. So the Iron X seemed to turn everything purple. Actually, it wasn't as bad smelling as I thought it would be, but it really seemed to get all the little ones you can see. Now when we go over here to the Iron Maiden, it's sort of, now I don't know if it got all the little ones. You can definitely see there is streaks where it's running down, and it's definitely getting rid of a lot of the iron. It's amazing how much this door changed color. And then here's the Carpro TRIX, and you can see it took a little longer. It didn't react as fast as the Iron Maiden, but it's still doing its job. Now I just don't know which one is going to work best. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do another little application. We're just over the 4-minute mark now, and it said wait a few minutes. and then just see what happens. Now we have sponges for each one where I can wipe them down, and there'll be no cross-contamination between the sponges because I have 3 separate sponges for the 3. There's the other 2 brand new sponges. So we're just gonna wait another minute or 2 and see, and then I'm gonna apply some more, and then I guess we'll clean it off with a hose. We'll do an inspection and we'll see which one looks best. But judging by at first, it's hard to tell because once it gets rinsed off, I don't know how much is gonna be left on. I mean, the Iron Maiden came on strong, really smelly stuff, but I don't know. It's very interesting. This one, the paste is really interesting in that it's not running down. The rest of them run down, they're more liquid, and because this paste is so thick, you can see it's not running down. So this one might actually be really good for rims, I'm thinking, and tires. Well, not the tires, but you know what I mean. Just doing the rims around the brakes, just because it's so controllable and you can control it in all areas, whereas this stuff just goes on everything. It just sprays really liquidy. And then same with the Carpro. So let's back up the camera and let's apply it again. All right, so I got the little sponges here. Now let's put another application of TRIX on. This stuff is very, it's almost like water. It's clear almost, and you can see that's, I don't know if it anymore is really going to come off too much, but you can see it's looking pretty clear. Anyway, here's the Iron Maiden. I want to spray this stuff on again. This stuff is much more thick. It's almost like a shampoo or something. And then, sorry, I know I'm in the way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put more of this stuff on here, and then we're going to take a close look, see how everything's working out. So here is the Iron X paste, and as you can see, it's pretty thick. I smeared it on. It's pretty thick, and it actually there it's still even bubbling. So like I said, I think this stuff would be really good for wheels because it's really controllable. There's the Riccardo, the Iron Maiden. So it's quite thick. It's like a shampoo, but definitely not as thick as the paste. And then the TRIX, the Carpro TRIX, it's very much, it's almost like water, really thin. Now the funny thing is when I sprayed this on the second time, you can see it looks almost clear. So there's almost nothing left. So I'm wondering, did this in fact get all the iron out? And with this Iron Maiden, did it get all the iron out? I mean, that's really in a nutshell what happens, and that's what we care about. So now that this has occurred, I only want to do 2 coats just to show, because I'm sure if I do 3 or 4 or 5 coats and I scrub it in, they're all going to work you know, pretty much the same. So with only 2 coats, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this vehicle back in the driveway. We're going to hose it off, wipe it down, and then we're going to inspect and see how much iron we can find without even really moving it in or rubbing all this stuff in. Let's just see how it works, or how it looks after we rinse it off. All right, clean microfiber towel. Let's just give it a little dry, and then we're going to look closely. Okay, first up, here's the panel that we did with the TRIX. And it looks like there's a few little spots there, one there, a few little tiny ones. Remember, we didn't agitate it, but it actually did a really good job. Now here's the Iron Maiden, and you can see here, maybe we missed one spot right there. Didn't get, that might have been a bigger spot. This actually looks like it's something else. It's black, it's not, it doesn't look like iron. So that could be tar or something. I'm not sure what that is. So it actually got a it looks really good. And are we missing a piece there? What is that there? No, it looks more like dirt. And now here, on this side here, is the Iron X by Carpro. So now don't mind on the side of here, you can see all the bits of iron on the side right here. Here's where all the iron is. But if you remember, when I put the Iron X on, I was just wiping in this area here, and I didn't, actually let me pull back. when I was putting the Iron X on, I was sort of just wiping close. I didn't want to get too close because I didn't want to overlap. So anything that's really close to the line, you can't blame on the Iron X. So here you go, you can actually see where there still was a bunch of fallout, but this was never treated. So we have to move over here into the treated area. Now if we back up, we can see here, it looks really, really good and really clean. So what's the results? What did we find? Well, I think they all work pretty equally well. One thing that really surprised me is how well the TRIX worked and how it's thin like water. Whereas the Iron Maiden, it's more thick, it's viscous, it's a little more thick. And then the other Iron X by Carpro actually is really, really thick and it just stays. So my advice would be, if you're doing wheels, like rims there, I would use the Iron X, and then the other ones, basically I think whichever is cheaper, whichever you can get on sale for a better price is what I would use, because they both look fantastic and I think they both did equally good jobs. So that's it for today's video. Throw me a like if you can. Better yet, throw me a sub. Any questions or anything like that, by all means, leave them below. I answer all my comments. That's it for now. GarageKing over and out, and I will see you on the next one.